We are going the distance, ladies and gentlemen. A game 5 to determine who will be a crowned champions here in the BTS Pro Series 13. Execration going to be starting things off for the first pick in the draft. Danog, we got a Marana, and also, like you mentioned before we went live, there's a bounty band, but also GeekFam.
There is.
Look at their bands.
Much more important, those bands. Like, just taking away, again, the aura builders, the pushers, get them away from Tino as much as possible if you're going to have any kind of success. Going to go back into the Tiny. Again, can be flexed for multiple roles, but I really feel like the 4 Tiny only has value if it's paired together with something like the Enigma or the Visage, so the fact that it's gone means that it's much more likely to be this mid Tiny, although Narman plays a pretty damn good one.
That he does indeed. So
We saw Cox popping off though on it.
He had a Jesus Christ, that Tiny game was nuts. Absolutely
21, 2, and 9, I think his score was.
Ooh. Hero.
Good single target burst.
Very
If only there was some kind of hero that was good at saving single targets.
What, against magic damage? Crazy. Yeah, definitely not the hero that Danog wants to say.
No, not Wyvern.
5 seconds remaining.
Dawn, dude. Just pick the Dawn again. It's won so many games in this series, and I mean, again, very flexible. It would give Execration that extra layer of the unknown when it comes to their draft. Marana, again, can go both support positions. Dawnbreaker can be played basically anywhere. I would even potentially run it mid against the Tiny if that's how Cox wants to play it. But the big thing for mine on Execration was they just got to give Bob a good game. We saw what a difference it was when he was able to play that Lena, just be relatively uncontested in the laning stage. Compare that to the Ember Spirit up against the Tiny, didn't work out nearly as well. So I'm sure they're being tempted to go Ember here. And they actually pick up a Nature's Prophet for themselves. Okay, don't hate it. And they actually ban out the Dawnbreaker for themselves. That's another decent route to go, especially if you're going to be running it in this side lane. So I just want to see, again, more stuff that's going to be able to clear out the treants banned out with this these Execration bans. And then Geek Slate, they're doing the right thing. They're going to get rid of Lena, they're going to get rid of Sniper, and just go from there.
What have we seen Scam on so far? Is it just the Nature's Prophet and Dawnbreaker this series?
Was
and
it
the
him
Lycan.
playing Lycan? Was that Palace? No, it was a Lycan. Yeah. Why? What are you thinking? Like, what's he going to go this time?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Yeah, I thought he'd only played 2. I forgot the Lycan game. So played a
wasn't
couple.
That convincing though.
No, it wasn't. That was the bounty draft, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yes, it was. Chan, give me the Chan.
It's pretty sucks.
I'm liking a lot of these bands.
Yeah.
From Execration. Leads you to believe it'll be much more likely to be the Shanks Marana as well. Things that can break the Hoodwink. Bushwhack, Natural 4 stuff builders are one. Marcy is actually still in the draft as well, which I'm a little surprised about. It was prioritized a lot earlier in the draft by, in the banning stage rather, by Geek Slate in the previous game. So I wonder if they might try and pick it up for themselves now.
Dire team pick.
Span.
Radiant team
Void?
pick.
Okay. Trying to think.
Might be an offlane bat. Bat Marcy would be pretty solid if they're able to get away with it.
10 seconds remaining.
Definitely, again, a lot of flex for Geek Slate, which is the important thing.
5 seconds.
Trying to think if there's any way you can go for a save here. It's...
What would you even go? Omni? Doesn't feel great. Like, I mean, Shadow Demon, maybe? But I mean, it's a decent way with a Demonic Cleanse to be able to stop the Bat Rider damage, and of course the Disruption, even if you're really on point with clicking the portraits up top instead, you can save them when they're tossed up into the air, about to be landed onto with the Sharpshooter. anything that just delays it out is going to be
Radiant team
fairly effective against that Hoodwink.
Puck.
Puck's good too, though. They're covering a lot of their bases. I think the tiny into the puck. Puck's just going to be able to stay at range, push the wave back out. Means that Batrider is going to be forced into an earlier BKB than he might like, as opposed to going,
10
drums,
seconds
boots of
remaining.
travel style. And even the Hoodwink can't play around the trees quite as much because,
5
you got a
seconds
puck.
remaining.
The puck into a tiny though, so it's a pretty good matchup here.
Dire team pick.
They do Marcy on
There's that Marcy.
Execration, so
Nature's Prophet, Marcy Lane.
looking for Tino's hero at the last. I can still flex the Marcy, of course, but more than likely is going to be that Marcy Nature's Prophet. Geek Slate I think you need to really address this puck hero
10
here.
seconds remaining.
I don't think you should be too concerned about having a hero that's
5
able to push out the
seconds
waves. I
remaining.
feel like this hero really needs to try and deal with the puck.
Just some instant
Radiant
lockdown.
team
Yep.
banned.
Or a good matchup in regards to that. You
Yep.
really have no damage over time on Execration. A lot of flex for them. We mentioned you could run Tiny Batrider in the side lane, put the TA versus the puck in the
10
mid lane.
seconds
I will
remaining.
say though, if this is Skem playing the TA, he really looked
seconds
underwhelming on the TA in the group stages. I think he played it in their first game of the groups, and he just looked very out of position. Now
Did he play it in safe lane, or did he play it in
he
mid?
played it safe lane.
Okay.
That's a
You only
long.
picked this to go up against the puck, though, right? 100%.
Well, the game you have a good game matchup as well overall versus the puck. But a majority of it is definitely for the lane. Yes, you are right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you can go Witchblade on it. You've got Unleash, I guess, for not damage over time, but lots of little attacks. You can go maybe just the Urn on the Mirana as well. Good against Tiny, Bat, and
Dire
the
team
TA in that regard. I don't think Execration are in a position to flex this puck to be anywhere else other than mid, and they're not even going to have that option because they don't have last pick. So they just need. Oh no, they're not going to Viper, are they?
No, I think them. No, I think you need a way to initiate another way. I don't think puck is enough.
5
And
seconds remaining.
Marcy, yeah, no, I was thinking kind of Sanking, damage over time versus the TA, jump for the Mirana.
They seem to think that they've just got a core coming. So offlane Marcy.
Or
Fucking band.
offlane Natures? Offlane, like Nature's 3, Marcy
10
4,
seconds
and then look to play Mirana 5.
Maybe. It's a possibility.
Look,
You might actually be forced to ban PL as well if they're going to continue down this route. It's a pretty goddamn good PL game. It probably will. The Beastmaster doesn't particularly signal like they're going to PL though, so maybe this ban might. Bit of a.
They couldn't void, could they?
They've got a lot of damage outside.
Dire team banned.
Bit concerned that Geek Slate. I mean, it's the same with the PL anyway, but ending the game early, so.
Yeah. I just love the time dilation against Batrider.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Even against the TA to a lesser extent. Lots of little ticks coming through. The right
10
click plus the
seconds
time
remaining.
lock being individual damage sources feels nice.
5 seconds remaining.
Is there any?
I think it's much more likely to just be like you can't deny Palos is Nature's Prophet. Sometimes the right answer is just the simplest one, so I would say it's probably
Radiant team
Nature's
pick.
Prophet 1, Marcy 5, 2 Puck, Mirana 4, and do I agree with you that they need the extra initiation? I don't hate your idea of the Sand King. They do ban the Void. I'm just worried that these are Bat TA are natural BKB buyers. If you go to Sand King, they're just going to do someone else that loves buying BKB for Geek Slate or has natural immunity.
Made it through.
Yeah, but where? Where's it going?
Could
So
be a
is this
5. Could be
5 task?
Could be 5. Could be 3. Could run
10
Toss
seconds
Marana
remaining.
lane or Toss Nature's lane.
I guess, but is there any
5
big reason
seconds
for that?
remaining.
Save for the bat?
Yeah.
A little bit, I guess.
Save for the sharpshooter as well is kind of nice. Helps take Roche.
Yeah, the Roche taking is probably the biggest one for me. I think the other two are luxuries as opposed to something that you draft specifically for. So what now? How will Geek Slate close out this draft? They don't need to deal with too much wave clear. Sorry, tower push. So it's really just taking care of this Nature's Prophet for mine that's going to be the biggest issue. Anything that's going to be able to get on top of it and deal with it is going to be a winner in my books. Can they afford to? No, you got to give the TA to the mid lane. So what else is there?
Can you Ursa? Ursa matches up pretty well with the Puck. Doesn't need too much. You can get on top of the Nature's Prophet. If it's a 3 Marcy or 3 Toss, should have a pretty good time as well.
Choose your hero.
Okay.
Pretty good Pudge game. Mirana can
I was
maybe build
originally
Vessel.
thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah, but like, you just pop Flesh Heap and then Vessel does nothing.
True.
You know, like the little ticks. So
Carry Marcy.
carry Marcy. I
That
mean,
is-
Palace is a very good carry Marcy.
Yes. That is kind of one thing we didn't bring up, that they had that potential to flex the Marcy to a 1.
They just want to have more big damage coming through to be able to deal with this Pudge. I think that's their biggest concern right now, is that they were lacking in it. And of course, the Nature's Prophet's able to do it, but he's not a brawler, you know? Pudge gets on top of you, you feel completely useless. Pudge gets on top of Marcy, Marcy loves it. I feel like much more likely now the game plan is going to be save that
5
snowball
seconds remaining.
for the Dismember specifically.
I really don't like this flex. I think all your lanes are losing. TA into Puck is a good matchup for Cox. You're going to run Mirana Marcy into a Bat. That's a fine lane for Bat Rider. You're going to have a great time. And then you've got a Nature's Prophet into a Pudge. Maybe the armor could be a bit of an issue for Scam. We could see maybe like 1 point in, 1 ring of protection early phase, but I don't particularly like the lanes.
Go the Blightstone.
Yeah, Blight
most
plus
likely.
tag team potentially. So I was trying to think if they can potentially aggro and go Tino into Batrider, but then that sounds horrible in itself. So then you're sacrificing the Nature's Prophets game. I don't like the lane setup at all for Execration.
Yeah, and it's against the Batrider. It's not like they have a ton of abilities that they're wanting to spam, you know. So you're not going to get a ton of use out of the magic wand or the magic stick, just in terms of like mana efficiency. Sure, it's going to be nice for your HP, but
Yeah.
you want to be getting the most that you could possibly get out of that. So something like a Mirana, pretty long cooldown on a lot of her abilities. Something like a Marcy, you really don't want to be diving in too deep, right? The rebound feels a lot more of a defensive tool.
Well, let's see what we have in. Let's see what we have in store for us for Game 5. Execration, their 3rd grand finals in a row. The BTS Pro Series 12, they lost against Boom Esports in Game 5. In the BTS Pro Series 11, they lost as well, which was against Polaris in 3-0 fashion. So, Skem, he is a Pro Series winner against these members on Execration. Can he do it with a different roster, though?
The mark of a good player. It's not like that one-hit wonder where you just were in the right team at the right time. It's about building rosters for success around you rather than the other way around. And, well, let's see if they're able to do it. It wouldn't be a C game without a 0-minute pause, and we're back into it. Like you were saying, I'm a little bit worried about the Execration lanes setup. They do have some levels of push, but again, I feel like you just need to mostly focus on shutting down Tino. Like, he has gone this build into the Blightstone, lots of stats, just looking to harass out. But then, has Pudge looked to address it? Yep, 2 rings of protection. Nicely done. Into the Vanguard as well. So realizes again that as long as he pops that Flesh Heap, and as long as he got the Vanguard, it really feels like Marcy and Nature's Prophet are going to do incredibly little against him in the beginning of this game. So as long as Scam's able to get up into that, I'm feeling really confident for Geek Slate. Done everything right up until now for this game. And Naman, he's a lucky boy. He's got the new tiny set.
Was this the ultra rare?
Ultra rare.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Force has got the new Batrider set. Very cool.
Oh, yeah. The weird blue genie man.
Hey.
What?
Dude. Scam? Uh-oh.
Battle begins.
Not a good position for a Pudge to be in. He's actually going to hook aggressive. Maybe this is the exact position he wants to be in. A Shanks. Makes it up the stairwell. And Roger's actually going to get disposed back. And it looks like First Blood will be picked up for Execration. Is Palace even going to... a little munch going onto the tree? How are they looking to try and set up the lanes, though?
Pretty standard.
Almond?
Again, like...
Ooh, Ava was still on cooldown.
Lucky, lucky. Alright, so... Yeah, pretty standard. Just lanes set up as expected. So, should be very happy about this on Geek Slate. But again, that First Blood could change things. Palace coming up against this Bat Rider. He's actually getting a little bit too aggressive for Minority. Soaking up 5 of those Sticky Napalm stacks. When you think Carlo, you don't really think the Mirana as much, though, do you? You think the much more frontliners, the big teamfight impactors, as opposed to the follow-up. He is the initiation.
It is one thing I've appreciated, though, from Execration, trying to push this Mirana to a 5. Because even though Shanks has such an incredible Mirana, there are just some games where you need him on a different hero.
Yeah.
I feel like that is...
Yeah. TA's having just a fine time in mid. Bob getting a good amount of last hits for sure, but all of the damage going in favor of Cox. The regen completely expired for Bob right now, and Cox even getting a few of these nice side blades hits as well. Early bottle though will make Bob's life a little bit easier.
I guess he does have a mobility advantage. And they're even actually rotating Carlo in as well. Maybe just trying to at least secure one of the rooms.
Away with water. Yeah, I mean, Bob will get the top one. Anything just to slow down the TA a little bit is going to be a big win. Might even just deny it in his face. Never mind. Get rid of those refractions. So maybe now Puck doesn't have quite as hard of a time.
Ooh, top lane. Tag team Orb of Venom and Tino's right clicks was enough to get the kill. Very, very nicely done here for Execration. Second one of the game.
You can tell that they just want to look to play around that tag team as much as possible. Tino, first item is the Gloves of Haste that he brings out to himself rather than any stats. So it's just about hitting as quickly, getting as many of those procs in as possible, especially with the relatively low armor on the Pudge. As he gets up to level 2, it does become a lot easier for Pudge, though. Hey, they actually gave it a duration now on the Flesh Heap. Very nice.
Hi. Thank you for updating the tooltips.
Thanks, Bruno.
Appreciate it. Much love.
Radiant structures.
Mid lane, what's going on? Fox? Christ, I said the health pool just evaporated. Worried I'm gonna miss another kill here, Cox. Missing a solo kill mid is also the, that's the worst sin possible. Bottom lane, Palos? Some distance away, even gonna hold Force down as well a little bit with that jump.
I like how Carlo's taking every single opportunity to just go for these right clicks onto the Bat Rider in particular. Like, Narman, of course, it's great to get the kill, but he's not what's preventing Palos from getting farm in this lane. So if Carlo's just able to keep Force away, you make him have to use a lot more of that gold on regen, he's going to have a big lead. And it's actually made Force go into the Tranquil Boots instead of opting for the Boots of Travel, just because he wants to be able to stay in this lane and bully out Marcy as much as possible. Hasn't been too successful so far, though. Still at the top of the net worth.
This could be a pretty good Boots of Bearing game, though, right? Like, because Geeks are going to hit a very, very strong early game timing around, like, maybe 18 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So you get full value out of the drums, straight into the Boots of Bearing, yeah?
Yeah, I wonder if we kind of see the Whisper build. So, someone that really likes the Boots of Bearing in general, just South America.
Mm-hmm.
Mid lane is going much better than I expected out of
Boots
Bob.
of Bearing's great against any kind of slows coming through, right? Of course, Marcy has that, Tusk has that. Witchblade, if that gets picked up on the Puck or the Nature's Prophet, you're going to have that Boots of Bearing for a little bit of immunity. A Scam getting dived a little bit on this top side. Nice use of the Bushwhack, though, by Roger to be able to cancel that one out.
I'm quite surprised these lanes are going as well as what they are for Execration.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about the power of potentially being exhausted after, I mean, again, this is their 8th game of the night. 8th official. You cannot understand how much more stressful officials are as Roger. He's always in position to be able to get that bushwhack off and realizes that
Bottom
Skem is
lane.
not in a position to die on his own.
Armin almost going down. Force able to act as a deterrent, pushes Palos away. Doesn't have too long of the Firefly to work with.
Shanks is level 4 though, so tag team going to be up a little bit more frequently. Going to have that extra damage as well to be able to pump in, and right now it's just about dodging every single aggressive attempt that they can have. That's Roger's main goal, just have mana to be able to land that bushwhack. Might be forced to make a very clever Iron Branch play considering he is so low on resources without that Acorn shot available, but he brings the clarity out for himself. So
Cox might be in trouble mid. He's got the haste. Let's see if they want to TP in the Nature's Prophet. Coil's going to be laid down. They won't even need the +1. The snowball on forward gets the kill. And now Narman might be in trouble as well. Shards blocks off the escape on the high ground. Reggie will only have to stand there and watch as potentially he'll actually go down as well. Bob has the abilities back up, so Execration find 3, and they've got the catapult still to work with.
Well, that's a lot of gold going onto the tower as well, and I really don't feel like a TA can come back to this lane solo.
Okay. I really would like to see the Nature's Prophet TP mid.
Is he in a position to?
Not now.
Radiant's bottom tower
Wow,
is under
Exo,
attack.
I'm incredibly impressed. Great rotations coming out from them. It was all set up in particular mid from that first water rune. Being able to enable Bob to secure it, taking away from Cox as well. And now that rotation as well via the power rune. Getting usage out of the first coil, slowing down the Templar Assassin's game, and all their side lanes are going much better than I expected. Palos, Falcon Blade now completed, and you've got Tino as well that is second in net worth and almost a hood for himself.
Little unorthodox for sure. I mean, this is something that I was really expecting Skem in particular to get much more out of this top side. I mean, early usage out of the Vanguard would have been so ideal for them. And that is still going to be what they rally around because, again, no one really is in a position to take towers too early on this Geek Slate lineup. I mean, it's going to take Cox a little bit until he's able to get into that Desolator for himself, both for effective team fighting as well as what actually follows afterwards.
Oh no, Palos. Alright, he just got the level 6. Arrows on the mark from Carlo as well, and even gonna give him a tip as well, seeing that Force just ran directly into the arrow, but back by the power room, the chain control. It's gonna be there this time. Roger and Narman, now it's actually Geek Slate that bring the supports before Execration are able to make their own movement to mid.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, but it's only Roger that gets the kill though, right? You'd much rather give that to Cox. It's so important that A, you get these stacks built up for him. He's got 0 right now inside of the Ancients, and well, that's a big result of how effective Palace has been in this lane. Not able to land the arrow though onto Force on the bottom side was Carlo, just going a little bit too early. Still though, it's a lot of pressure being put down here and takes away from your potential to go for these kills. Bob, I'm not sure if he was spotted out. I think he was.
Top lane Tino.
To make that rotation.
Someone gonna go for the toss as soon as they say Shanks TP in. So baby Narman, that's in trouble. Shanks is level 6 already. Look, but they're still able to get the snowball to follow in pursuit. Toss him away, so Skem has got an opening to play with the Dismember. Even Cox is going to try and connect as well. Let's see if they can chase down Tino. Has a trap to be able to slow him down. Tino's going to look to go for the TP, but the hook is back up, and Skem will find it point blank.
Yeah, just waited a little bit too long. If he TP just a moment sooner, he would have been able to get away, but well, again, it's just about that immediate reaction to realize, do they have stuns available? When was that hook used? Is it worth going for the retreat? If you do it, you got to do it right away. So, nice recovery coming through there for Geek Slate.
Radiant's top tower is under
Oh, Pudge. Sprouting arrow, nicely done.
Anytime you can get a free kill, very, very happy with that. not opting to get into the smaller items towards the pipe just yet. Maybe just wanting to see how these next few team fights eventuate on Tino before making his mind up fully.
Bob might be in trouble. Toss back into the bushwhack. Palace is there to maybe try and get some revenge. Some extra reinforcements coming in, however. Roger's going to look to get involved as well, so they'll push Palace away. And Cox is standing firm. The lasso would allow him to right-click and scam with the dismember as well, as Cox doesn't even go down.
Tower is under attack.
Able to survive. A lot of that is on the back of Narman, right? Just providing that additional layer of control. Get 2 Avatos combos off in a single fight. That's on the back of really good positioning, because we're still at this stage where Tiny is super squishy.
All that going on across the map, Tino does find the first T1 tower of the game with the assistance of the catapult. So he is now usurped Palace's positioning at the top of the net worth, and this is almost enough gold for his pipe to be completed.
Makes you feel much more confident fighting into that Bat Rider as well. So I wonder if he might even consider going for a play on this bottom side. You can see Palace and Shanks are there.
See if they're going to have the damage between the two, and it looks like that'll be the case, especially with the assistance out of the Wrath of Nature.
Actually going mid.
And now as well, they'll be able to blow up another member and also look to put some pressure onto the tower. Meanwhile, the
Both
supports,
towers going down.
they're going to try and rotate into the jungle to get some information on the stacks, or maybe even go for the kill on the Cox instead. They got the detection though.
Are fortified.
He had a sentry on the tusk, but not wanting to dive past it. Really just wanting to bait out some reactions as, well, this is something that you do not want to be given up. That is a fairly healthy stack, and, well, Cox, he is relying on that to be able to get into his next item. Actually opting for the Dragonlance instead of the Desolator, just feeling like he can't even begin to join these fights, but Tino making it a pretty high priority, although they're backing off for now.
Dire's bottom
You could unleash for this if you want to.
bottom tower has fallen.
Happy though. Shanks is ready along with Carlo off to the left side, but importantly this is another power rune for Bob to work with, and it's going to come out very close to his Witchblade timing as well. So Execration had a good start, momentum started to dip, but now it's back well and truly in their side. A 5,000 net worth lead at this stage of the game is so goddamn much.
Yeah, especially with how we were expecting the lanes to go. Witchblade going to do wonders for Bob's aggressive potential as well, just providing that little bit of extra safety against all the right-click damage coming through, not only from the TA, but even the Bat Rider eventually starts to right-click like a beast with all those sticky napalm stacks, a couple of null talismans, plenty of stats on force. He's quite hard to kill.
And what do you do now for Geek Slate? Gonna see Execration look to try and smoke and connect with Palos. His bottom lane is getting shoved out, so not going to be an easy move for them to make. Maybe they're going to have to infiltrate into the jungle instead, but his camps have already been farmed, so no one's going to be home with the triangle. They actually might be able to catch out Cox moving back in and try and get his own farm. Instead, it's at the front of the T2 tower. This is pretty deep. Arrow's going to be on the mark. Skem's going to look to try and move in with a dismember. They'll land the hook, dragging back Shanks. So in the end, Execration, they're going to lose 2 members, although they feel strong enough to take the fight because Palace is going to jump into the middle. They got the pipe to absorb up all the magical damage, and that's going to pay off drastically as Execration find 4.
Man, I was about to say what they needed to do on Geek Slate was play around that Pudge. He's got the armor, he's got the phase boots, he's got the Vanguard, but they just ripped through him like butter. There was absolutely nothing that he was able to do to shrug off that damage. The chain control was good. They kited out the flesh heap very effectively. And I'm starting to get a little worried here for Geek Slate. What was a very, very solid start to their series is starting to crumble around them.
Yep. And now they're not going to have a triangle to farm. They blocked up the Ancients. Palace blocked up the hard camp as he was escaping. So that's the exact position Cox needs to be in. And Radiant have great 5 heroes to be able to infiltrate, and we've already seen that multiple times so far. So it feels like Geek Slate, their way back in, might be off the back of fighting, so they're going to look to try and smoke us 3. But how do you open up the map? Yes, you can get these kills.
Lucky enough to get a Tumbler's Toy on the Tiny, so Narman, he's going to be a big part. Who can he find? He's going to be praying for a
Bob's
squishy
huge.
hero. Bob would be great.
It's hard though, because it's daytime. They got the ward, is going to be able to react. Now they might turn it around, toss into the middle. Looking for the lasso, but it's not going to be there. The joint is fast enough. It's a call now from Execration, Bob. Able to dodge out from Force's aggression. Meanwhile, top lane's getting shoved in from Tino, so they're going to force Cox to come back to address this.
And great team play overall, just coming around from Execration here, right? The instant reactions coming out, good individual skill, but then, oh, they actually get pinging out Tino, farming right on top of this Observer Ward. He's holding on to a ton of gold, actually just buys up the Atos now. Can they look to get this kill? It was a pretty big rotation down bot, and he's actually going to get all the way back to safety.
Skem might look to hook Shanks. That is playing underneath the trap, so a nice easy kill for them to find. Bottom lane, Force. They have anyone to jump on at the moment, so Force should be able to kind of pull them across the map.
Just farming a small camp on his way out. With the pig pole. Ooh, is he going to be able to get away? Just.
But get him close to this Deso on Cox if they can continue to make some space for him. Always that opportunity for him to sneak Roche. Probably not going to be easy because Treants can scout and Orb can scout, but if you get a kill, maybe two, then you can definitely look to try and get that objective. So to continue to make the space for him.
It's going to be very challenging though. I mean, by the time he's got that, you have got a BKB now on Palace, so he needs to be specifically targeted in a lot of these team fights, either bursting him 100-0 or making sure to save the Dismember for that. But then if you're doing that, where's the damage to be able to take out a few more of these mobile heroes? And, you know, Tino, of course, is going to be using the pipe all during that if he's not the main target. So, I mean, it really doesn't feel like there's an easy initiation target for GeekFam to choose outside of maybe the supports, but even then, they've both got escape potential.
Man, this next team fight's going to be so scary for GeekFam. Going to be playing into a blink on Bob. At Atos to hold them in.
They have to wait.
Yeah.
They have to wait for the Deso. They do not have enough damage right now. They would love to have a BKB on Batrider as well, but he's not going to get to that anytime soon. They would love to have Aghanim Scepter on the Pudge, but that's not going to happen either. What is going to happen, though, is Roche when you've got a Tusk to be able to assist with it.
Yeah, maxed out tag team. Unleash as well. Again, tier lineups very much rely around playing with this Aegis advantage, and they will not have the first Roche in their repertoire, so Execration find this one with ease, only having to pop a decent sized ultimate in the Unleash, but Bob's going to be the one to claim the Aegis. Skem's one component away from his Scepter, so getting close to that, almost level 12 as well completed for him, but for Execration, we're expecting just their next movement kind of to be around the top side of the map so they can start to put some pressure onto the tier 2 tower.
Normally, yeah. I mean, that might be the easiest one, considering that's where the majority of their vision is already set up. You don't want to just let that go to waste, but they can make plays anywhere. It's not like Roche is the big prize anymore for the next 8 minutes. Could just be mid. Probably been just walking into a creep wave. Not showing any fear at all. Clearing it out. Making Roger have to play on the back foot.
Top lane, they're starting to set up. And he's going to look to try and TP him, but can...
Quick reaction.
Does he address that arrow? Going to be off the mark as well. Wanting to try and defend bottom. Marcy TPing him. They're going to have the traps. We'll see Toss TP. Now they get confirmation of Palace being there as well, so they're going to be able to react accordingly.
Alright, so maybe they now look to make a play elsewhere. They've finally got an outnumber. Can they look to make something happen? And they even are popping a smoke here on Execration to make sure that they can get back to the rest of the team really quickly. Maybe anticipating a move out of desperation to come through from GeekFam. Not knowing that they're actually quite low on mana across the board, so they're not really in a state right now on GeekFam to want to take.
They should know this is happening. Bob. Able to get the jump in onto the Hoodwink. Even Coil's going to be laid down. So a free kill for Bob to find, and as soon as you see multiple members starting to swing to top, GeekFam is just going to look to vacate away from the area.
They've got the Deso though on TA. Cox starting to work into that BKB. Getting closer and closer to the Blink Dagger on Armin as well.
Cox going to get dived onto the T2 tower. Palace playing around with the BKB. They're able to burn off the refraction, and Cox's health will just evaporate. But so does the damage on Palace as well, as Skem just gets in range for the dismember. So in the end, a 1-for-1.
That's Ags on Pudge. So a nice little buff coming through.
Bob is going to go for Narman. Damage.
Gotta be careful about this one. I mean, he's got the Aegis to play around with for sure, but tiny combo into a Pudge with relatively low cooldown in that Dismember is pretty devastating. And if I'm Geek Slate, I am giving as much of this farm over to Narman as possible. He's just 50 gold away from being able to pick up that Blink Dagger for himself, and with that creep camp being taken away, he will get just that. So maybe now you can look to make a play. I don't necessarily think you need Roger's Blink Dagger, but Aghanim Scepter, Blink Dagger, I think they might just be looking to use Cox's bait, push the wave out with that Desolator, and make a wraparound happen in the meantime.
Both position fours have their own blink. Shanks, with the help of the Philosopher's Stone, has his completed on the toss, so has that saving potential. We also got to mention...
Loving how that Tino has been playing around with his treants as well. Just constantly throwing them into the camps, scouting out a lot of where Geek Slate are positioning themselves if they were trying to make a comeback happen, but more importantly, getting the block off onto a number of camps. Didn't that time around, but it's the minutes that passed that have really allowed this lead to happen. Tino's still at the top. This is an off-lane Nature's Prophet who went utility item.
Oh, well, he's going core now. Gleipnir completed, so... Gonna try and farm his Execration. Still got a little bit of time out of the Aegis. They want to make use of it. Smoke's gonna pop. They've got the ward, so Nama gets a jump. A little bit of damage onto Palace to start, but they've been able to react to retreat away. As Bob's gonna be in hell, but the coil holds him down in a place that the lasso, though, stops the damage for the Marcy. Then they'll turn it back around as well, though. Bob playing with a double damage room, but they need a way to deal with the Templar Assassin stuck inside the Sprout at the moment. Cox protected with the refraction. They haven't got a way to purge it off. The great fight for Geek Slate. One more right click as Tino will go down, but at least they found the arrow that flew through the middle, piercing off the members of Geek Slate. And Narman the sole survivor, but he won't be alive for too long. As Bob off the back of the respawn should be able to close the distance. Shanks does actually tick out to the trap. Narman will still die, though, nonetheless. Is not going to have enough mana for the avalanche. Bob, he won't die, actually. Narman lives.
Very, very clever. Just, again, using all of that additional armor from the tower every little second, using to its fullest potential. And the fight recap tells everything. Finally, Cox able to just stand and get some right clicks off. Died pretty early into the piece, but he got the target that they needed in that Marcy. You take her out, and suddenly all of that damage in the fight
he dodged everything. Oh no, Bob, he dodged the sharpshooter and the tiny combo, and that gives a tip over to Narman as well for the attempt. And they're already sitting up on top. Palace and Shanks come together. Forster's got the BKB back up. He will not even need it.
I think what Palace wants to go next. I really want to see him get into something like a Lincoln's, just so that you're gonna be able to stay on whichever target you choose, or they're gonna be forced to use both BKB piercing ultimates on you. Something like the Lotus Orb is already being actually finished by Carlo, so if he could just toss
Skem's
that
in
one
trouble.
onto Master, that's big.
He's gonna pop the coil, look to try and TP out the damage. Well, in fact, the root is there to cancel it.
TA's farming though, getting closer towards that BKB. Still doesn't have that great way to be able to close in onto the relatively squishy heroes. I mean, Tino still top of the net worth, but you get onto that Nature's Prophet. He is still a Nature's Prophet that can be quickly hit down with just a few swings of your sword.
Great ward that Radiant have. Actually about to expire, so never mind. We'll give them a lot of information that Geek
Will they
Slate...
smoke before it expires, though? Kind of feels like they're grouping up a little bit. Maybe just wanting to deal with this creep wave first.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That's the BKB now from Cox. You to get back in this game, this BKB fight has to pay off. Especially with Roshan potentially up in 50 seconds. So a successful fight definitely give them that objective, and even the tier 1 tower potentially on top of it, depending on where the fight breaks out.
I mean, this just is going to need to be... I think a smoke is fine if Geek Slate look to do it, but I don't want Pudge to be part of it. I want them to be rotating to try and find someone else, allow Pudge the time to get into that Blink Dagger. Seems like they're okay just to sit back for this next little bit and just pick up their items before maybe rotating as a full team, assuming that it's going to be a quick Roche respawn. It's not like they're really going to lose all that much in the meantime, as Skem will look to take their first tier 1 tower of the whole game. Geek Slate, so that's a bit of a bonus, allows them to maybe move down to this bottom part of the map a little bit more to be able to pick up that farm, and that is the Blink Dagger picked up.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Medium length Roche respawn as well, so they're going to have this extra little bit of time. You're going to get the Aghanim Shard on the tier, you're going to have level 3 Psionic Traps as well.
They're coming. They want to fight on Geek Slate. Let's see how they can get the jump. Trap for the vision. Roach's Bushwhack's not going to be there to hold Bob into place. Multiple ways for them to start the fight. It's just going to be how do they find the angle. In fact, Cox, oh no, you're not hoping out a defensive BKB, but maybe they can make it work. Tino protected with the BKB for the moment. They're still going to look to move into the middle as forced. He doesn't find an opening for the lasso. Now we'll be able to hold down Palace into place as Cox can finally get the damage going. Bob still off to the northern side. Once again, a dodge with a fave ship at Naaman. Another toss back into the middle as Tino can't do anything. Cox,
Naaman's still alive.
Double kill for himself, and Naaman will live. What a fight for the Tiny, and what a fight for Geek Slate.
And they were trying to... Oh, Bob, he's playing with fire a little bit here. Maybe just trying to pick someone off, and... Oh,
it's a
it's
shot.
the courier. It's a little bit annoying, but we've got the second Roche coming up soon. Do you think even mid laners are greedy enough to be able to take the second Roshan Shard when they've already bought one?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know.
They got a good ward here, Dyer. Gonna try and jump Skem. Arrow actually clips onto Naaman, and they're gonna snowball into the middle. Palaso, he's gonna have a free fight. He doesn't have to worry about the lasso. And that's going to enable them. As Palace finds a double, and now they're looking for more as Cox is in trouble. Will turn to try and do as much damage as he can, but they're kiting Cox. He eats the arrow, point blank, and now Tino, he's locked Force into position as well. Everyone on Geek Slate will not be able to live. Actually, the sole survivor out to the left will be Rogi.
Radiant are scanning.
I was wondering where Roger was that entire fight. He was on the Radiant side of the river, just doing a little bit of D-warding action while his team was dying, and I'm like, my guy, they need you there. They need to bushwhack. The fight went for long enough that these BKBs, they're not going to be quite as much of a factor, and, well, he might even end up dying regardless.
Yep, they land the coil. Another kill. And it feels like these fights, we see what's happening. If Geek Slate have lasso, the past couple of fights that have gone okay for them is when they're using the lasso onto Palace's Marcy. But that one fight, they didn't have it available, and Palace just had free reign of the engagement.
They need lasso and the dismember to really make the most out of all of these team fights. And, well, again, it's really, to me, on Carlo with how he takes these fights. You got to make sure that you're using the Lotus Orb onto the Marcy every single time that she jumps in, because she's always going to have the movement speed off the rebound buff, plus the phase boots, plus just locking people in position because of the Skull Basher.
To the triangle, Tino goes. Bob's going to be able to help out as well. A decent ward here on Dyer. They're starting to TP some members in, but Radiant have all the goons as well, just in case a fight does break out. This is such a difficult hill to be able to climb for Geek Slate. 16,000 deficit. They are setting up on Palace bottom.
Twice in this series alone.
Let's see.
Kind of recovery.
Not an easy kill. How are they going to start? Oh, we got the jump just at the time they initiated. So Palace is able to play around with the BKB. And all the boys, they're starting to come. They want to try and TP down Tino. In fact, it's not even required. Palos can just solo scam. Oh, love a good awkward timing like that. Force now. He too has to BKB to escape Tino.
It won't even have that option soon. Sprout Leash coming shortly.
They gave Tino the Axe Shard.
Okay, Curse of the Old Growth. I hate it.
Same. Cox. Watching the tree lane. Is a fight you want to take on Geeks? Oh, still gonna jump. Maybe that's an opening. Toss back under the tower. They need the lasso, but the Lotus Orb's going to prevent that. Regardless, all they wanted was just to hold him into place. And now Cox with the BKB turns for another. They should be able to deal with Shanks, but it might come at the cost of Cox's own life as Tino. Look at the damage, man. This is your position 3. Nature's Prophet, top of the net worth. And just mauling down members on Geek Slate. Narman's down to the south, but he will not live to see another day. Is locked inside the Sprout. The damage is plentiful and the kills are as well.
It's a fight where Scam just wasn't there for that one. He really needs that BKB for himself. It feels like he's getting kited around so easily in a lot of these engagements. And I mean, honestly, even by the time he picks up the BKB, he'll probably have to drop the Quelling Blade for that. And then it might be just as simple as Nature's Prophet. As long as you're on top of him, you can deal with the Pudge. No 4-stuffs, I believe, yet on Geek Slate as well, which is a little surprising going up against this sort of draft. Shards, Sprout, even just getting away from the Marcy feels like it's a fantastic tool. Of course, we have to remember that Tino's no stranger to being able to put on his carry boots. A couple of pretty successful seasons through for Boom. Of course, as well, playing on the likes of the old Omega Esports as well as many other rosters.
You know, we've seen Tino do it in the past and even on some more heroes that don't particularly carry. Like we've seen what his Visage was able to do. I can't remember what game it was this series, but in front of the bottom Radiant Tier 3 tower.
The man up.
Yep, the man up. So we're seeing what he can do. And now he's on a Nature's Prophet on top of the net worth, and also filling on top of the world is him along with Execration. Their third opportunity to potentially find a chip in the Pro Series, and with the position they're in, they got to be feeling it. They have to be sensing that victory. They're so close. Potentially 2 fights away.
This is the time where they might get a little conservative. You know, they might just say, well, let's not throw it away. You know, we've been so close before and been so far away from that final result, but it feels to me like they've got everything that they could possibly want. They've got the Aegis for another 40 seconds. They've got level 3 ultimate on Palos. He's got a double damage rune bottled, BKB, Abyssal Blade. This is the time to be able to make a play happen. Look at all of the psionic traps in that mid lane. Just trying to protect against any sort of push.
Gonna have to BKB. Look to try and escape, but the rest of the team might be able to cut him off. Namit's actually going to be in. A toss back. Radiant don't have everyone here for the moment. This could be a decent fight, but it looks like they're not aware of that on Geek Slate. They're going to go to their own triangle.
I don't know if Shanks is the best one to get as a pick off here. Maybe assuming that Nature's Prophet is farming that aggressively, but there's really no reason for Tino to be. Still having that Aegis for the next 3 seconds, and well, even if they were to catch Bob, he's got the Aeon Disc nowhere close to anyone picking up the Nullifier yet on Geek Slate. But they're taking a chance. Roger buying up the gem, looking to try and move out as a unit, clear out the map, get a little bit of vision for the team. That is an optimistic Scythe of Vice queue up that he's got there for the Hoodwink. Good. They still believe.
Nice scan. The TP might be able to catch Scam out. Oh, they got the vision thanks to the Axe Shard. Oh no, Tino. Great usage out of whatever the hell it's called. Curse of the Old Growth. Great name. Now Bob as well. Might be able to find a solo. Coil's gonna pop. Narman gets the toss and hits the arrow nut. Oh, this guy, even when they're behind, making plays like that to try and keep the cause alive. He will not escape. It cost him his own life as Bob's still looking for more, and Tino's even keeping inside the base.
Tower is under attack.
Huh. What?
Kind of pushed out a little bit though. I mean, the Wrath of Nature is going to clear them out. This is a lot of damage you're going to have to deal with. Assault Cuirass, many heroes, many treants, and an Unleash. Smashed into your base, even popping the super early use of that glyph. So now, no more glyph reset coming through.
Are they going to try and blow someone up? Sharpshooter into lasso? Force BKB and ran in, but he didn't want to blink instead.
Dyer's middle barracks is fallen. Dyer's middle barracks are under attack. Dyer's middle barracks has
It's a
fallen.
shame. You know, we've seen little mistakes like that come back to bite. They really want to get Scam into this BKB though, and he's got it. But I feel like you need to wait for that BKB on Force, otherwise he's just going to get immediately turned around upon with the Dream Coil. Even Bob now with the overwhelming blink, so quickly able to clear out these waves. There's just no one with the burst damage to kill him 100-0. Aeon Disc makes that a certainty. He's even got an Arcane Rune to play around with as well.
And have fun with your positioning when you're going up against the kick from Shanks.
Oh, has he got it, has he?
Yeah, he does indeed. So he's even got the Ogre Totem as well to maybe help out a little bit with his positioning, so we can kick in and totem out.
Get back out, yeah.
It's Geek Slate. Bob's not the target though.
Bob.
They may have saw someone though. Pings came through. Execration, they'll back off, paying some respect.
Oh, look at this though.
Tino
would be a good target.
That he would indeed, but he's going to stand strong. Lasso's there, jumping from Scamp, but they don't have detection. It's going to come through finally afterwards with the sentry drop, so they're able to get the dismember up. The snowball sucks Tino in. He's okay, and now they turn it back around. Cox, nowhere to be seen. In fact, he's stuck on the northern high ground. Bashes allow Palos to be able to win the man fight. Abyssal for good measure as well. 0 buybacks on Geek Slate, and soon the base will be pillaged.
Yes, it will indeed. And I mean, they couldn't have asked for a better initiation. They're fined on his own, the top net worth. And I mean, they were just able to do no damage to that Nature's Prophet at all. I don't think he even popped the Satanic.
It's alright, one day you'll actually prove useful and be able to translate for me.
I know a lot of languages, just not Tagalog.
Second full set of barracks. Up
Have
to
they
the last
finally
one.
done it?
And might have third time the charm, you said. Looks like that'll be the case. Execration, what a road it's been. Oh, gee, why not? He's got buyback. Look to try and a couple seconds delay. That's all they're hoping for. 1%. Might not even be updated. Poor Force. Arrow. Woo! Sips a little tail for a quick second, and the creep soon to funnel inside is very difficult way for them to be in now. Been such a run for Geek Slate, but unfortunately, looking like I might just come short. Execration, discipline for them. Back to Roche they go. Third Roche of the game. Blessing Ages and the cheese soon to be in their hands, and it looks like one more fight for Geek Slate. A desperation smoke, but Roche is already going to go down.
Palos ends up taking the Aghanim Scepter for himself. Cheese on the deck as well. Like they needed any more buffs.
This one on the high ground. Might be a decent spot for them to take a fight. Bob's got the Aeon Disc, so you're going to need to force it out early. Off to the right side, though, Palace almost solo killing Skem. He's at least able to get the Dismember off, but Cox is leashed together
healing
in the Sprout. Without the Templar Assassin damage, they're not going to be able to deal with the cause, and now Marcy and Tino can look to chase down the Templar Assassin. Scam will buy back to try and land the hook, but they'll block that one perfectly as Bob. An Execration will be crowned champions. Third time is the charm for these boys. What an incredible performance from them in Game 5.
Tower is under attack.
Undefeated in the lower bracket. Upper bracket is indeed for bitches because they just shrugged past everyone. They beat everyone on their way here. There is no one that they got a free pass through. It was a very, very well-deserved victory and the culmination of what does seem like a big growth journey coming through from them. You and I, we cast a lot and we watch a lot of Execration Dota, and you just see those little improvements from tournament to tournament, and it really feels like they're onto a winner here with this roster. It's not a big change, but Carlo, many, many times, I've been impressed by the small little plays that he makes, and I'm sure he brings a lot of that experience as well that might have been lacking from the previous iterations.
Yeah, and the fact that he's been able to make this transition from 4 to 5 and look pretty goddamn good while doing it as well is very, very impressive for Carlo. Something that is not easy to do at all, but we've spoken a lot about team's identity so far. We've gone through, of course, Army Geniuses' identity, GeekFam's identity, and now we get to see Execration as well in their full force, where often they have Bob on kind of the win condition and Palos on the on kind of the sacrificial role in some games. And honestly, what kind of Execration look like in a way is very similar to Secret, where you've got your offlaner and your position 2 taking a lot of the farm, and Tino, like similar to Resolution, can take over games and just win them for the team.
Yeah, no, I can see that for sure. I'm not sure if he did it after this game or beforehand, and I'm just noticing it. But Bob, his in-game name is now Congratulations. So I wonder if that was a little bit preemptive. Okay, just making sure if there was a potential meme there. You know, I'm always on the hunt. We are waiting for a possible interview, which is always exciting. You know, we've gone a while since hearing from some of these players, so it'd be good to hear from them if they. I mean, I'm sure they're going to need to let loose a lot of emotions for sure. 8 games that they've had to play 8 officials. So exhausting, but their job is done.
Their job is done, and it's been a long road for a lot of these boys as well. We've brought it up multiple times, but the fact that in the BTS 11, they made it to the grand finals, but they lost to Polaris in 3-0 fashion. And then in
Force,
the previous, yes, Force was on that team. And then in the previous Pro Series, they lost to Boom in 3-2 fashion. Skem was on that team. So they get some revenge against, actually, no, Force wasn't on the Polaris team. That was actually with Nevermind. That was when Nevermind was in. So that's... there you go. Third time is the charm. Finally, they made it to... Well, finally, they've been able to capitalize on this opportunity being in the grand finals. This is a team, like you said, started in the lower bracket, and they really didn't look convincing at all in the group stage as well. They had a 7-11 map count once the group stage is finished, but we just saw the development of the team through the entire playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they didn't even make that big adjustments. You know, I wasn't casting the entire group stage, but this is really the Execration that I know, you know? And maybe it just took a little bit of that adjustment from Carlo. Like you said, moving from 4 to 5, you take a little bit to get your bearings, to put your feet in place. And, well, for Geek Slate, I wonder if they're going to be regretting that Bounty Hunter pick a little bit. 2 times now, they were 10k plus net worth in the lead, but not able to close it out. This game, though, it was all Execration.
Yeah, this game and the series performance for them. And with the Bounty Hunter, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Back to the drawing board for them. This is a team that's going to be very scary. They are starting in Division 1 now that we know they have Lil Gun's slot. So Division 1 is looking so goddamn scary. So goddamn scary. And that's really where all our attention is put to next on really how Southeast Asia is going to be able to shape up. Because again, we kind of... The region fell a little bit short at TI, unfortunately. We all still believe in this region without a doubt. And you take a look at... I'm looking at Division 1 right now, and I'm seeing the rosters out of there, and I'm like, there's no free win. There's
no free win.
No free win.
It's so even across the board, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
what the hell? So GeekFam and Execration come up from Division 2. Of course, they were just 2 of the grand finals teams. Then you got those new rosters. Pretty much everyone is a new roster.
Blacklist.
Yep. Bleed.
Fnatic, SMG, Boom.
Jesus, dude.
What's the other one? I'm forgetting one.
Talon.
Talon. I mean, come on.
Oh,
That is ridiculous. This is going to be, I think, one of the most entertaining seasons of the SEA DPC we've ever seen. And Western Europe, by the way. That's stacked too.
Yeah, that is stacked. And I mean, that's saying something, though, considering it felt like every season for C has been so close. So close. I've always said Division 2.
But it's been close between like the top 5, you know?
That's true.
This is the top 8.
That is a very good point. There's been like one team that has been like kind of, a bit of a free victory. This team, you take a look at it, this season, this tour, I should say, you take a look at it, you're like, dude, there's no free wins. Anything can happen. Nope. Anything can happen. New rosters, people are scrimming. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. There's Viper offlaners and Viper 2s going Scepter as we get to see some more crazy strategies come out. But this is just such an awesome kind of entree for what is eventually going to come out for the next tour. We've had a bit of break after TI, of course, seeing all those incredible teams perform. Now, the rosters have locked. We get to see some of them perform here for the Pro Series, and just gives us it builds the excitement for when this Tour 1 breaks out, because Southeast Asia and all these teams just are looking incredible, and their Dota is so goddamn fun to watch. I mean, what the hell was going on? What game was it? We've done 8 games today. One of the games where it was like the Morphling had 12 deaths. Like, what was going on? There was like 20 kills at 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, and Palos took that personally. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna make you pay. I'm gonna give you a bit of a taste of your own medicine. And well, it wasn't even him that ended up playing the Nature's Prophet in that decisive victory. But the hero is good. That's all I can say.
Yes, well, did we see it all 5 games? I think at least 4. I don't know, 5, but. Oh, that's crazy to think of. I would never have expected a Nature's Prophet to be prioritized as much, but I always like to bring this up, man. Best of 5s are just a treat where we get to see the meta develop. Like both these teams in particular, we saw Execration play the Nature's Prophet a lot. We saw Army Geniuses pull it out today as well in that early series, and it just got to the grand finals, and it was the Mirana, the Tusk. No real surprises there, but the Dawnbreaker and the Nature's Prophet, they were kind of the big surprises on how much priority there was. So going to be exciting to see. I hope we get a patch before DPC kicks off, but it's going to be exciting to see if we don't. Come on, surely. Give me a map change. Give me a map change. Give everyone a map change.
Frostivus is coming. They got to do something.
Okay, surely, right? Yeah, you give us some goodies. Give us a new patch. Give us some excitement, because that's what.
What are you getting me, by the way, for Christmas?
What the hell? What do you deserve something?
Yes, of course I do. You love me. Come on.
That is ever so debatable. Yeah, no, I don't particularly think I do, but it's okay. My what I give you is my love and my appreciation.
That's a lie. And... You do not do either of those things. You give me lies, you give me gaslighting, you slander me all the time, you cheat on me with multiple casters. Who was it, Hairy Freak a few days ago? Absolutely ridiculous, man.
I had to fill in, brother. What do you want me to do? They
say no. Say Danog is the only one for me.
They call for fill-in, and I must answer. Dota must be casted, and I had some good games. Actually, no, they were all really. They were all 2-0s, I think. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure
that was day 2.
Yeah. All right, we got an interview.
Up until you cast with me the second time around, it was lots of boring games. I think it's Carlo that we got.
It is Carlo. I'll bring him in. Carlo, hello, you there? Can you hear us?
Hello.
There we go. Carlo, congratulations, champions finally for Execration. It's taken you guys 3 times now. You made it to the grand finals in Pro Series 11, Pro Series 12, and now Pro Series 13. I want to speak a little bit about your transition, though, to the position 5. Has there been people that you've been watching to move from the 4 to the 5? What has kind of been your practice routine, I suppose?
I think I've been watching Tundra's playstyle, especially snaking. I think we have the heroes snaking is playing is the same as me when I was still playing as 4, like the Mirana, especially the Mirana. Yeah. So I've just been following the Tundra's snaking's heroes basically.
between the position 4 Mirana and the position 5, other than like the super obvious things like rotating to mid to secure power runes and stuff, do you think there's anything that a 5 needs to prioritize a whole lot more just to give the people in chat a bit of an insight into what you need to do if you're just trying to follow the best players?
I would say like I transitioned from 4 to 5 maybe because when I was 4 I was thinking more on rotating maybe helping in runes, but now when I was playing 5 I was more looking more into our lane, especially securing Palos lane. Like like for me it really gives us the advantage all throughout the game.
So what you're saying is don't leave your carry, because if you do, then he's going to get frustrated and destroy all of his items.
Yeah, basically like that. I give Palos a good lane, and if he's in a good mood, he's gonna carry us.
Easy, easy. I actually did have another question. So, like Aries mentioned, Execration as the organization got to the grand finals in BTS Pro Series 11 and 12, but 13's the first one that you were playing. So, are you the difference? Are you the god that's gotten them to that first place finish?
I won't say I made a difference. Maybe I would say our coach March really made like a big impact for us because when we were playing group stage, right, like I think we were still lost, but when he came and when he started helping us through the playoffs, it was March impact was really big for us.
Was it more the mental, or is it about stuff about communication, or is it stuff that you were actually doing in the game, whether it be the draft or the gameplay?
I would say like everything. Maybe but mostly is the like reminding us like how we should stick as a team or play as a team.
Cool, cool.
Is March going to be with you guys for Tour 1?
Yeah, he's gonna be staying with us for division. I mean yeah for tour 1.
And who are you most excited to play in this Tour 1 coming up? Because there's a lot of new rosters and some new organizations in Tour 1 as well. Is there any teams you're excited to verse?
I would say I'm excited to play against the newly Filipino All Star team, the Blacklist. Uh, really looking forward to play with them.
Nice, nice.
It's going to be,
That's all I got, man.
yeah,
That
that's
was a really solid performance. And okay, actually, I do have one last quick question. So you guys played 8 games today, 8 officials. I've known players that get exhausted after playing like 3. So how do you handle that? What is there anything you have to do to be able to just stay in the moment in those games?
Actually, I was just telling them to conserve. I mean, the start of the day, I already told them that we're prepared to play 8 games. That's the possibility that we're gonna play 8 games. So, I was telling them to prepare their mind and their body as well. And every after game, I'm just trying to tell them that to breathe in and I mean to do breathings and try to stretch. So, yeah, we can reset and go into the next game.
So you were the difference then. You were the difference between the previous grand finals. Yeah, see, I got it out of you.
yeah,
Yeah,
there
that's
we
the
go.
important thing.
We
But
found out.
no, that's really good leadership coming through. Obviously, March, like you said, has had a big impact, but it's glad to see that you've been able to fit into this role and do such a great job. So, yeah, once again, congratulations, Carlo, and all the best. I'll let you relax. It's what, 1 a.m. over there at the moment?
It's past 1. Yeah, it's gonna be 1
Oof,
soon.
Oh,
damn.
bedtime, and maybe it's a little bit of celebration. But Carlo, congratulations. Any quick shout outs to any of the fans or anyone like that before we let you go?
Shout out to my family who's having a graduation party for me, but I wasn't able to come. Also
Oh, well.
to Boss B who's currently in Indonesia, and also all to my friends and ex family.
Sounds good.
Go. Once again, Carlo, congratulations. It's been a pleasure. Really excited to see how you, along with Execration, are going to be able to perform in Tour 1 for Division 1. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, mate. There we go. Danog, we're done now for another BTS Pro Series. We've We've gone all the way, all the distance, man. 13th iteration. It feels like we've just started from 1. Now we're all the way up to 13th. We've got another champion. Spoken a lot how Execration have finally been able to do it, and Carlo was that reason why. I must also add, I didn't actually know March was coaching them, so that is, I don't know if you knew that, but that I'm sure is a really big advantage.
Of what? Sorry. I didn't.
It's okay. You're not listening to me. I understand. It is 4 a.m. in the morning. I do get it. I did not know March was coaching them. I don't know if you knew.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I
So
think it
I'm
was
just
announced.
okay. Well, I'm just obviously behind. But that's
Going to swimming holes, not posting about them on Instagram. You got to show the pics, man.
you try to get this pun out that you said before. We're not saying it on stream. Okay, very good.
No.
All right, very, very, very good. It's going to be so exciting to see how Execration are able to shape up, because this team looks really, really strong, but a lot of the other teams in Tour 1 look just as competitive as well. Like we were saying before, Division 1 is going to be one hell of a blockbuster. Every single game, every single series is going to be down to the wire. I'm so goddamn excited. I don't even know when's it start? How soon away are we?
I think it's in the new year. It's not
Starts
before the end of the year.
one day after my birthday. Let's go. All right. So
When's your birthday?
the 8th of January. So it starts on the 9th.
Imagine having a birthday so close to Christmas, man. Do you get combined presents?
No, I get them on Christmas and my birthday. No. So I get
No, I know, but are they like, this is for both?
Oh, no.
Do you get those sorts of
No,
things?
no.
Oh, okay, well that's lucky.
Yeah.
Mine's in June, so I get the best of both. Like, there's no combining for me. I want give me what I want.
Yeah, same. I'm like, no, you can give me more presents. We're not getting away with this. Come on now, give me all the presents
Good man.
that I would want and everyone would want. But Danog, any closing comments before we let everyone go for the night?
No, just thanks everyone for watching. Hope to see you guys soon. Always a pleasure to cast more Dota, and much love, of course, for tuning in. I mean, see Dota always gets the fans and always gets the dedicated people here. Always see a lot of the same names in chat. So thanks so much for coming along with the journey.
Yes. Very much appreciate everyone in chat and everyone behind the scene as well. Much love, and once again, congratulations to Execration. They will be crowned your champions for the BTS Pro Series 13. We'll see you guys next time.